Well, filling your gas tank could soon cost even more.
The leader of the California Senate has come up with a very controversial idea to charge drivers a so-called carbon tax. Environmentalists and anti-tax groups are opposed. KCAL-9 political reporter Dave Bryan has details and reaction live from Hollywood. Dave.
Well, Sylvia, we're right beside the 101 freeway. You can see, new environmental rules kick in next year, and those rules will reduce greenhouse gases and global warming. But everyone agrees they'll also raise gas prices considerably and could bring a lot of volatility. So the state Senate president says, let's cut out the question marks and the volatility. Let's impose a carbon tax, which would also increase gas prices, but also give refunds to low and moderate income motorists.
I'm fine with $3.25, but when you start hitting that $3.79, almost $4, that's a no good for me.
With gas prices already hurtling toward and sometimes exceeding $4 a gallon, starting next year, Californians can expect to pay even more at the pump as a byproduct of plans to cut back on greenhouse gas emissions that are fueling global warming. The plan's expected to force gas and diesel prices higher so that burning fossil fuel will be painful. State Senate President Darrell Steinberg says he has a better idea. Impose a carbon tax on all fuels and put the proceeds, $3 to $4 billion a year, to good use, giving tax credits to low and middle income people and funding mass transit to encourage Californians to leave the car at home.
If we're going to accomplish climate change goals, why does it always have to come out of Californians' pockets?
Critics charge the Steinberg carbon tax is just another money grab on already overtaxed Californians.
All Californians will pay the price, but particularly it's going to be low-income Californians. They spend over 30% of their monthly income on transportation. Senator Steinberg proposed that they would get an income tax credit in order to try and make up for some of that. That's not something that's really going to work.
Steinberg denies it's just another gas tax. His press secretary emailed me to say it's not a gas tax. He's not raising gas taxes. Prices on fuels are set to rise unpredictably when the cap-and-trade program expands to cover fuels in 2015. Instead, the senator proposes replacing this expansion with a stable tax on carbon. He went on to say the carbon tax would be revenue neutral, and much of the carbon tax revenue would ultimately be refunded to low and moderate income households anyway. But the fact is, all California motorists would pay more at the pump under either plan, and that's not a welcome prospect for many.
I don't want to pay more. Yeah.
This is as much as you want to pay, or more than you want to pay even now, you mean?
Even now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No increase?
No increase. No.
California's Business Roundtable President Rob Lapsley says more expensive gas could threaten the state's fragile recovery from recession.
When you add on what's happening with these additional taxes, we absolutely know it's going to have an impact. Look at minimum wage. They're talking about increasing minimum wage again. If there is a minimum wage increase, the legislature is going to take it right back from low-income Californians to make them go pay it at the pump. What sense does that policy make?
The state senator who wrote the cap-and-trade law to diminish greenhouse gas emissions and their impact on global warming, Senator Fran Pavley from Calabasas, told us letting oil companies play by different rules than other polluters would undermine all the progress we've made on climate change. Most, but not all, the motorists we spoke with while they were filling up the tank were okay with paying a little more if it meant a cleaner and cooler environment.
Of course, I will pay more to keep the air clean. Of course. Yeah, I will. I think everybody should.
So what are the chances of this carbon tax passing the state legislature? Not too good. First of all, this is an election year. Raising taxes not generally recommended for incumbents who want to be reelected. Second of all, it would require a 2/3 majority in both houses. That's tough to get. And finally, the governor has said he's not in the mood to raise taxes. We need to learn to live within our means. We're live in Hollywood. Dave Bryan, KCAL-9 News.